Hello KeySet users. The feedback principle I'm going to unpack today with you is in regards to developing feedback literacy. Now you might think, what is feedback literacy? Well, this video is going to unpack that and consider implications for your use and teaching practice utilizing KeySet. So traditional views of feedback and learning look at things through a very behaviorist lens, essentially like conditioning. So just as we would give a treat to train a dog by providing feedback to a learner, they will in fact learn. But this fails to recognize the learner as an active participant in this process. And this is something that more contemporary perspectives of feedback acknowledge. They acknowledge that the learner's motivations and emotions will shape the way they respond to feedback. They acknowledge that student experiences and the things they bring into the feedback process and the learning process will shape the way they respond to feedback and the subsequent impact on learning. All of these factors have come to be known as feedback literacy. So what is feedback literacy? Well, instead of just actioning and responding to feedback, feedback literacy talks about the student's capacity to appreciate feedback, recognize that feedback is useful to them, and welcome that. The other element is around making judgments. So when I receive feedback, what do I do with it? How do I make meaning from it? What does it mean for my learning? And the third element is around managing affect. So essentially, if I receive feedback that is somewhat challenging, do I curl up into a ball and feel somewhat threatened because I haven't got an A+ or I haven't done everything right? Or do I see this as an opportunity for growth? These three factors then optimize the student's ability to effectively take action. Feedback literacy is the bringing together of all those concepts. So what does this mean for us using KeySet? Well, some of it has to do with the processes we put in place when using KeySet, but the wider structures within the classroom. So first of all, when using KeySet, we want to model to students what they need to do when engaging with KeySet and using the feedback that you provide to them. So what you might do is you might put it up on the screen, or you might model to the students around a computer what to do when they're on the platform. What do things mean? If you are a learner and going through a mock learning experience, how might you engage with the platform? Based on the feedback you receive, what might you do next? If you don't understand the feedback that's provided, rather than just putting it on the shelf and not dealing with it, what might they do? So you would go through the process of asking questions to oneself and then perhaps to a peer or a teacher. The other thing we want to do is then in subsequent learning experiences, not only look for evidence or provide or require students to engage with the feedback and read the feedback, but we might create templates and protocols in which they set clear goals around what they're going to do next time around based on the feedback they have received. All of these things are built on the key principles of providing structured support, giving guidance, and creating a culture of support in your classroom. This way, we can develop feedback literacy in our learners that will enhance the uptake of feedback that they receive. The really great thing about this is that when students move from one teacher to another, or one classroom to another, or one learning experience with another, this feedback literacy goes with them. So the things that you do in your classroom and the things that your colleague does next door, develop feedback literacy in all of our learners so it makes our job easier over time. As always, the KeySet team have put together a great number of resources and some readings to support you in this concept, so please check them out.